$1,700,000 years ago, amidst the biting, unforgiving cold of an ancient ice age covering the globe, there was no industrial pollution, no processed fast food, and none of the sedentary habits of our modern 21st century. Yet deep inside, a dark, damp limestone cave in South Africa, a primitive human ancestor lay writhing in absolute agony, suffering from a sharp, relentless pain in his foot. This devastating pain did not come from the fierce bite of a wild predator, nor did it come from a deep gash caused by sharp volcanic stone. The fossilized footbone of that unfortunate prehistoric creature, unearthed by archaeologists in 2016, completely shattered the foundational assumptions of modern medicine by revealing undeniable, clear signs of malignant bone cancer. Let that staggering reality sink in for a moment. This terrifying disease, which we so eagerly blame on our modern lifestyles, was already silently torturing and killing our ancestral lineages long before our species even learned how to control fire or develop a basic spoken language. The greatest mystery is not just how savage this disease behaves, but why it chose that exact, primitive, untouched era to emerge within the human family tree. Are you absolutely certain that your own body is completely safe from this ancient, shape-shifting monster today? Do not blink, and do not leave this video, because in the very next section, we are going to expose the hidden biological secrets of how this killer evolved under the cover of the ancient glacial frost. To fully understand why cancer chose our earliest ancestors as its primitive sacrificial lands, we must step directly into the daily struggle of Kale, a skilled prehistoric hunter fighting for survival in a brutal frozen landscape. Kale possesses a powerful, lean physique with heavy muscles, sculpted by a lifetime of sprinting away from apex predators and tracking massive, woolly mammoths across tundra. He consumes only wild, lean animal meats, packed with natural proteins, and drinks pure water from melting glacial streams. Kale's daily existence is entirely embedded within the pure, unadulterated womb of Mother Nature, completely untouched by synthetic chemicals or artificial materials. Yet, from the cold, mathematical perspective of evolutionary biology, Kale's body, much like any multicellular organism to ever walk this planet, carries a ticking biological time bomb deep within its genetic framework. The fundamental contract of multicellular life dictates that individual cells must cooperate, divide, and die in a strict, orderly fashion to maintain the body. However, the microscopic machinery responsible for copying the complex DNA code of human life has never been absolutely flawless. Every single time a cell divides to help Kale heal a deep wound suffered from a skirmish with a saber-toothed cat, or simply to replace skin cells burned by the crackling campfire he huddles around for warmth, billions of genetic characters must be duplicated with near-perfect accuracy. If just one tiny error slips through, a catastrophic chain reaction begins. That single genetic mutation transforms a loyal, hard-working cellular building block into a selfish, rogue entity. This corrupted cell completely ignores the natural biological command to self-destruct, beginning to divide uncontrollably and aggressively draining the life-sustaining resources of the host body. Scientists formally classify these ancient, abnormal growths as neoplasms. Its presence in million-year-old fossils proves a bleak reality. Cancer is not a modern curse. It is an evolutionary tax on life itself. Tragically, what we uncover in the ancient fossil record represents only a microscopic fraction of the true historical devastation. Paleontologists refer to this frustrating scientific limitation as a preservation bias. Consider the biological fact that cancer predominantly ravages soft tissues, including internal organs, vulnerable skin, and the bloodstream. Over countless millennia, Buried deep in the frozen earth, these soft tissues decompose entirely, leaving absolutely no trace behind for modern researchers to analyze. The only component of the human anatomy capable of surviving the relentless march of geological time is hard bone tissue. Consequently, that 1.7 million-year-old foot bone, afflicted with osteosarcoma, is merely a solitary lucky needle in an astronomical haystack of ancient suffering. If prehistoric soft tissues could have fossilized like solid stone, the ancient map of human sickness and malignant tumors would undoubtedly look far more widespread and terrifying than we ever dared to imagine. The phantom of cancer did not merely mark the bones of the dead, it actively dismantled the lives of prehistoric tribes from the inside out. Do you truly believe that these incredibly robust, primitive humans could simply cure their ailments using raw herbs and natural remedies found in the wild forest? The real answer is recorded in a stunning historical text, and if you skip the next chapter, you will miss the ultimate clue to understanding how humanity first named its greatest enemy. Let us return to the harrowing survival journey of Kale within his small nomadic hunter-gatherer clan. As Kale reaches the age of 30, a milestone considered quite advanced for his brutal prehistoric era, he begins to notice subtle, alarming changes occurring deep within his physical frame. A dull, persistent ache develops within his chest and back, a sensation completely distinct from the normal muscular fatigue that follows a grueling, multi-day hunt across the frozen valleys. In those ancient times, Kale's tribe possesses no scientific framework to explain such internal decay, naturally attributing his worsening physical agony to malevolent spirits or the vengeful ghosts of the wild beasts they had slain. The tribal elders attempt to treat him by pressing hot river stones against his swollen flesh, or by applying thick, sticky resins harvested from ancient oak bark directly onto the hard lumps forming beneath his scarred, weathered skin. Yet no natural remedy or primitive ritual holds the power to halt the aggressive advance of these mutated, rebellious cells. Under the lens of modern biology, the malignant cells operating within Kale's prehistoric body behave exactly like the tumors treated in modern hospitals today. They trick the host's circulatory system into growing brand new blood vessels to feed the tumor aggressively invading surrounding healthy tissues before beginning the fatal process of metastasis. The single greatest misconception of modern society is the romantic idea that a pure primitive lifestyle acts as an absolute shield against oncological diseases. The reality is that, while Kale does not smoke commercial tobacco or breathe the chemical exhaust of heavy industrial factories, his prehistoric environment presents its own unique, highly lethal oncogenic hazards. The most immediate and constant danger is the thick smoke rising from their daily survival fires. To survive the freezing nights of the Ice Age, Kale's tribe must keep large wood fires burning continuously inside cramped, unventilated cave systems. Inhaling massive amounts of carbon-toxic soot and volatile organic compounds from burning wood over consecutive decades causes severe chronic inflammation throughout their respiratory tracts. This persistent tissue damage creates the absolute perfect breeding ground for primitive lung cancers to take root and flourish. Furthermore, raw wilderness survival forces primitive humans to constantly consume untreated water from stagnant pools and eat wild meats that are frequently undercooked. This leads to rampant, lifelong parasitic infections that trigger permanent systemic inflammation across their internal organs. When human tissues are trapped in an endless loop of damage and rapid cellular repair, the statistical probability of a catastrophic DNA copying error increases exponentially over time. Simultaneously spending long, unshielded hours tracking game under intense solar radiation exposes the bare skin of prehistoric hunters to massive doses of ultraviolet radiation. Malignant melanoma silently develops on their sun-exposed shoulders, masking itself beneath ordinary scars left by thorny bushes or animal claws. They do not live in an idyllic, cancer-free paradise. They are merely trapped in a hazardous environment where other lethal dangers happen to strike them first. This scientific truth demonstrates that cancer is woven directly into the foundational fabric of complex life, an inseparable byproduct of cellular evolution. Why then, throughout modern history, do we get the distinct impression that this disease only truly exploded into existence over the last few decades? The answer lies in a profound demographic paradox, a revelation that will completely alter how you view modern longevity in the upcoming section. Let us confront an essential burning question. If cancer is truly as ancient as the hills, why do prehistoric burial sites not overflow with skeletal remains, warped and hollowed out by malignant tumors? The explanation is found within a stunning, undeniable biological reality known as the longevity paradox. The simple truth is that the average life expectancy for a prehistoric human like Kale hovered at a mere 25 to 35 years. Long before a random, spontaneous genetic mutation inside Kale's body has the necessary decades to accumulate, evade his immune defenses, and grow into a noticeable tumor, he faces a dozen immediate, high-probability, lethal threats. He is far more likely to be crushed by a cave bear, succumb to a massive systemic infection from a broken tooth, or freeze to death during a sudden catastrophic winter famine. Cancer is fundamentally a disease of deep time, requiring the slow, gradual accumulation of genetic degradation over a lifespan. The overwhelming majority of malignant cancers only begin to manifest aggressively and reach high detection rates after a human being crosses the threshold of 50 years of age. Prehistoric humans almost never had the luxury of reaching that age, falling in battle against a hostile environment long before cancer could claim them. The astonishing triumphs of modern medicine have successfully wiped out lethal childhood infections, improved basic sanitation, and pushed the average human lifespan well into our 70s and 80s. By living long enough, we have unintentionally opened a wide biological window for ancient cellular mutations to slowly accumulate and explode into view. We are living in an era defined by cancer, not because our planet is inherently more toxic, but because we have conquered the things that used to kill us young. Another major factor driving the perceived explosion of modern cancer is our unprecedented diagnostic technology. With highly advanced imaging, modern doctors can effortlessly locate a hidden tumor the size of a tiny fingernail deep inside a patient's internal organs. Conversely, ancient tribal healers could only diagnose a sickness when a tumor grew so massive that it physically deformed the surface of the body, leaving internal cancers completely invisible. However, we must remain brutally honest. Our modern lifestyle, dominated by ultra-processed foods, environmental microplastics, and synthetic industrial chemicals, does accelerate the baseline rate of cellular mutation. Modern humanity is actively speeding up the internal clock of this ancient biological monster. How can we ever hope to forge an ultimate weapon against an adversary whose blueprints have been coded into our genome since the dawn of time? The astonishing answer to this riddle is currently being uncovered by studying the massive mammalian giants that walked alongside our prehistoric ancestors through the ancient snowstorms. These incredible genetic mysteries are opening a radical new frontier in human medical science. Do you want to discover why creatures weighing several tons are virtually immune to this disease, while humans remain so vulnerable? Stay tuned for the final, redemptive chapter.